name is Mary Polk, and I'm one of the educators at Rittenhouse Needlepoint. Welcome to our thread pull series, where several of us take a canvas, a saved canvas, and we each pull the thread and see what we come up with. So today, the canvas that I'm pulling for is the talus bag. This talus bag has a simple design on it of a Star of David, so it is really appropriate for a beginner or intermediate level stitcher. The talus bag SKU is 11990. The cost of the canvas is $111. However, it is also part of our discounted canvas program right now, and the red star indicates that it's 30% off, so that's $78. It is hand painted on 13 mesh, and what I've done for the canvas is to take a very simple approach. Many of our stitchers like to do a lot of fancy stitches, and what I've noticed recently is that some of our stitchers have brought pieces in where they've done predominantly tent stitch. However, they've used beautiful thread, and that really ratchets it up to another level. So that's what I've done for this piece. So let's start with the design itself. I want the design itself to be done in beautiful stitches, and then I want the background to really just act as a background stitch. So what I've done is, number one, on the pale blue, used Very Velvet in light blue. For the gold, we've used a beautiful antique gold Krynic number 16 medium braid. And for the white, I've chosen the Pure Palette Baroque silk. I've chosen this particular Baroque silk because it has a very transparent and translucent look, and I think will add a little bit of shine. So even though we're doing just a tent stitch, we're using different textures, different colors, and that'll add your interest. Just like that. For the background stitch, I've chosen this beautiful watercolors thread. It is 100% cotton, and it is over dyed so that it is a variegated color. I thought that would be very pretty in the back. And we're going to be using 2 strands. When you strand thread that is variegated and you're putting 2 strands together, remember that you pull one strand out. On the second strand, you pull that out and flip it so that you don't get a striped look from the variegated threads. For our background stitch, I've chosen an upright oblong that'll work up quickly. It'll also give a woven look, which would be a nice background to set off our Star of David. I think to make it more durable, though, you'd want to do a crossed oblong cross, because this is something that's going to be used. It's going to be handled, and hopefully it's going to be passed on to a child and even a grandchild, and we want this piece to last for a long time. So for the cross stitch, I've chosen this beautiful shade of Krynic, of a sapphire blue, and it would just cross over. You have your X's and a little crossbar right there. A little bit of shine in the background, and I think a little bit more durability. Thank you very much for joining our thread pull series, and I hope to see you again.
Good afternoon, and welcome to our thread pull series. Today we are working with SKU 11990, which is one of our talus bags. And today what we're trying to do is feature the stitches for this talus bag. I had chosen silk and ivory for the background, and I chose the hesitation stitch because it gave it a little bit of movement. We will use a little of the silk lame braid and for the hesitation part, so it'll give it a pop of color. In the star where the white is, we will again be using silk and ivory, but the white we will use a basket weave stitch for a calming space. The pale blue and the gold, we will use a Milanese stitch, which is in the shape of a triangle, and it maintains the integrity of the piece. There's not a lot here, so the choice of threads and the stitches is what makes this piece spectacular. Thank you.
Hi, this is Janet from Rittenhouse Needlepoint, and today we're pulling the threads and giving you stitches for a talit bag. This is for an intermediate stitcher, but I have thrown out a couple of advanced stitches that might be fun. So for the background, I would do this in a diagonal cashmere, and I've chosen Planet Earth's Calypso, which is number 159. And every fifth row I would do the equivalent Calypso in the sparkly version, just to give it a bit of dimension and interest. So that would be, you could either do another diagonal cashmere in the sparkle, or what I usually do is just do a basket weave all the way down, following the contours of the diagonal cashmere. Then for the blue and white triangles, I chose Presentia in a number 12, and that is because I wanted to do a sprat's head stitch or a triangular rose, and you need a thin thread for it to really show up, for the beauty of it to show up. So that's what I would do for these sort of smoky blue and white triangles. For the gold, I wanted to use Fireworks in the 58, FT58. And you don't really need to do a stitch for this one because the gold shimmer sort of blends and merges, so I would just do Continental for that. Now for the center, typically for talit bags, we paint in the name of the bar mitzvah boy or girl, or for whom this is intended. So I would use panache in the background and do a simple Continental, and then for the letters of the name itself, if it's a boy, you could use the Fireworks again, but if it's a girl, you could consider doing gold beads, which is what I have done for my family's talit bags. And that's my take. Thank you.